On this episode, we speak with Kendall Jones about her documentary, which is available now, and we'll touch on some other topics as well. And also, I'll have my own, things that pop up in my head, or I guess. So sit back and enjoy this next episode of Trend Chat.
From the highways of America, here's the podcast where we talk politics, a little entertainment, some culture, and this and that, from the road to your ears. This is Trend Chat with your host, Brian Bledsoe.
And welcome to another episode of Trend Chat. I am your host, Brian Bledsoe, and if you want to connect with us, we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok. It's all the same name at TrendChat 24/7. At TrendChat 24/7. So, first I wanted to start off because as we are recording this is while the March for Life is going on, and I want to bring that up mainly just for the people who don't know. This is a march that has been going on for, I don't even remember the first, but it's been, I don't know, has it been since Roe v. Wade? But it's been going on for at least decades, let's put it that way. And it's one of those big events that go on in DC that the media loves to want to either dismiss or discount to make it seem like it's not as big as it is. So I wouldn't be surprised if you may not hear about it in the media, no matter how big it is. Now, this year, I'm pretty sure it's going to get a lot of publicity just for the simple fact that President Trump is going to speak at the March for Life, which he will be the first president, which is, when you think about it, it's kind of shocking in a way, especially amongst any Republican presidents. He's going to be the first one. But I don't expect any Democrat president to ever speak for the March for Life. I would suspect they would characterize the March for Life the way they wanted to characterize the Virginia rally. Had people there who were in support of the Second Amendment, and you have the media and Democrats out here just making it seem like it's a bunch of white supremacists and Nazis and everything, just totally trying to paint such a negative light on people who are, like I said, just wanting to protect their Second Amendment rights and stand up for their rights against Commonwealth of Virginia that is constantly infringing on those rights. So I wouldn't be surprised that's how the media is going to portray the March for Life, as they've done in previous years. So, but that being said, President speaking, that's going to definitely get some attention, just because the media just can't help themselves as far as they're going to cover it because they want to make sure they get every single syllable that he says, so they can, dissect it to make it seem like whatever negative thing they can think of to attach to it. But like I said, that being said, get the March for Life to get some much deserved attention. So, and it's an event I haven't been to. When I think about where we've done the podcast, we go to CPAC, we're going to try to go again this year, and NRA convention and all that, and we've gone to numerous other events. But the March for Life is the one event I have not attended, in which I have made a decision that God willing, next year, I am going to the March for Life. I put it in my calendar that is my, I would say my top priority next year is to go to that next January. And so that's, so I am looking forward to that. First off, next year, that's a goal. We're going to March for Life next year. So thank you for being here. And if you're listening for the first time, thank you. And I hope you go back and listen to all the other episodes. But I appreciate it. I have to realize, because it's almost, I got to just give a little bit of a primer, because new people are listening every episode, it seems like. So yeah, again, if you're listening for the first time, I appreciate it. And as always, I will say, like, share, and subscribe, and get other people, and let's continue to grow some more. And as I was talking for March for Life, before we get on to the next topic, like I said, we're going to talk with Kendall Jones about her documentary that's going to come up soon. But as I was talking about March for Life, I want to mention about Culture for Life, which is one of our podcast partners. And they are a pro-life fashion line, and which is very rare. If not, they may be the only one. They're close to the one of the few, put it that way, at least. And so, Culture for Life, they have plenty of apparel for women and men. And you should check them out at col1972.com. So the website, again, COL, like Culture of Life. So col1972.com. And if you put in the code TrendChat, like the name of the podcast, TrendChat, you will get 10% off on your purchase. So check them out. They're at the March for Life. I've been seeing their post on social media and everything, and so they're there. And if you're there, or just or if not, you may be watching it on social media somewhere, because I know I've been seeing it, people posting, like right in the march and all that. So yeah, Cultural Life, col1972.com. Put in the code TrendChat, and you get 10% off on the purchase. Check them out. Like they got shirts, hoodies, hats, and yeah, like I said, I'll say it again, col1972.com. Really appreciate what they're doing, and I definitely want to make sure I mention them on this episode with the March for Life going on as well.
Politics and other stuff, maybe. This is Trend Chat with your host, Brian Bledsoe.
Hello, Trend Chat listeners. If you like the Founding Project's Civics Education video series, Civics for All Ages, and our educational meme series, we think you will love our new website. Join us at thefoundingproject.com and be a part of the civics movement. The Founding Project is a 501c3 education nonprofit. Please join us today.
What's going on, y'all? This is Brandon Tatum. Make sure you go to Trend Chat, check it out, listen to it. One of the best shows that I've ever been on. So make sure you go check it out, man. God bless y'all.
So I don't know if I mentioned already where we are recording, and we are in California. I said, well, outside of Los Angeles, and it made me think about movie that I just watched. Well, a couple of movies actually. It was 3 of them, and I don't know how many people know about. Not only, well, I'm pretty sure a number of people who are listening to this podcast maybe have heard of the book Atlas Shrugged. I hope you have. So if you know about the book, then I would not be surprised. A number of you may not know that they made 3 movies out of Atlas Shrugged, which were released. I think the first one was in 2011, and then 2011, I think 2012, and then 2014. I forget, but either way, it's I guess it's close to almost 10 years since the first one was. But because Atlas Shrugged, being anything that is not liberal, Hollywood wouldn't touch it as far as getting it produced and everything. So it took forever to actually get made, and when it was, I mean, there were obviously not as much reception in the mainstream media, especially. But either way, I'm glad it was made, because the book is pretty big, for one. I mean, we're talking about 1,200 pages, and I would say the movies got the basic premise of the book. I mean, it couldn't get all into the details, which I would say Atlas Shrugged is a very descriptive book, put it that way. And in my opinion, a little too descriptive. But that being said, you couldn't put everything in the movie that was in the book. But I think it got the general message of it. And I mentioned that because I watched in the past week or so, I watched all 3 movies again. And also, I have to bring this up, because if you see part 3, you at I forgot what, an hour and 10 minutes. In about an hour and 10 minutes in Atlas Shrugged part 3, you will see yours truly in a 2-second little spot. So if you blink, you will miss it. That's a literal blink and you miss it moment. But yeah, so I even got it down to the time now when that little part shows up, because it's when John Galt does his speech, and it's right after that, and there's a scene where they're talking about people are responding to his speech, and they show clips of other people saying that I am John Galt, and I'm in the midst of like maybe 15 people in that particular scene, but I'm like right in the middle of it. So just want to mention that. I mean, hey, I didn't, I don't get anything from it. It was a unaccredited, uncredited? Say unaccredited. I'm not a school or institution or anything. But yeah, it's an uncredited, part. Even though if you talk about this a little too much, but look, in the credits, it's in the credits though. It's like John Galt Videos, and I see my name there. So hey, it's in there. So anyway, that's not important. Watch the movies though. So yeah, Atlas Shrugged, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're free on YouTube with ads. So there are ads in it, but it is free, I think. At least I saw it for free. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But yeah, check it out on there. And the only reason I'm mentioning this is because I'm in California. And so if Atlas Shrugged has anything close to reality, it's here. Right here in California, with all the directives that that they're putting out. And I mean, I just came from, so I'm at a truck stop here at outside of Los Angeles, and I got some drinks or whatever, water or whatever, at the truck stop, and I asked for a bag, and they said I had to pay 10 cents to get a bag. I'm like, and then as soon as she said that, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I'm in California. So, but yeah, I mean, it's, that's a small thing, but just like I said, being in the state of California, it feels like Atlas Shrugged, especially here. And that's not only here, it's, spreading across. I mean, look at the Democrat candidates that are out there. Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, all Joe Biden, all of them. They are basically just like the politicians in Atlas Shrugged that are just looking to take more and more of our liberty, of our freedom, day in, day out, with all these laws that are quote unquote for the people or for the public good and all that. And they just totally try to wipe away individual rights. So anyway, I digress. I am going too far. This can go on into a long rant. Anyway, so that being said, just wanted to mention that. And again, check out Atlas Shrugged. If it is free on YouTube, I mean, I think that'd be the best place to check it out. And so I mentioned that because coming up next, we're going to talk with Kendall Jones, and her documentary is on YouTube and also on Amazon. But we're going to talk about the documentary and all that coming up next here on Trend Chat.
This is Trend Chat.
Hey, I'm Amy Robbins.
And I'm Emily Valentine, and we are not
your average gun girls.
And you're listening to Trend Chat with Brian Bledsoe.
Hello, this is Trend Chat, and we are very pleased to have Kendall Jones with us. She's a conservationist, outdoor enthusiast, and hunter, as well as into the Second Amendment as well, as I found out. Is that correct?
Yes, that is. I'm a big 2A supporter.
I mean, to be a hunter and everything else that I mentioned, I mean, it kind of was given, right?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, all of us hunters love our guns, so they go hand in hand.
So we wanted to bring you on to talk about recent YouTube documentary that has been out for some time, and we wanted to talk about that and some other things as well that are coming up for you. So I guess the first question, let everyone know about the documentary.
Yeah, so I recorded this. It's been about a year in the works, and I just came out with my documentary, my story as to who I am and where I came from. For those of you that don't know me, I went to South Africa back in 2014, and I hunted over there, and the media kind of got my pictures and bashed me and hated on me. It was literally worldwide news. So the documentary that I have, or that just came out, is going to just kind of talk about all that, talk about where I came from, what I went through, and now what I'm doing. So that's on YouTube.
Now, in watching the documentary, and one thing in particular that you mentioned already as far as dealing with the hate that came across, and I remember because I was seeing it as well, and I saw how intense it was, and you get into it in the documentary about that, and I guess kind of let us know a little bit in how you were dealing with that, and just like I said, for people that don't know, it was very intense. Like you said, it was worldwide news, but
yeah.
I think you handled it well. So
yeah, I got death threats, I got hate messages, I got letters sent to my house. They tried to kick me out of Texas Tech and off of the cheerleading squad. Not Tech. They wanted me to get kicked off. Tech was very nice about it, and they were like, we're not going to do that. Like, we support you. So they tried to get me kicked out of school, but that didn't happen. And just like a lot of ugly, hateful people out there where it's just saying things behind a keyboard that it's kind of funny because I've never had anyone say anything ugly or rude or mean to my face. Like, I've had people that aren't like hunters that maybe don't agree with it, but they aren't ugly or hateful about it. They just want to understand why I do it. And that's completely fine if you're willing to learn. But those that are just ugly and say hateful things behind a computer, not one of them has said anything to my face before. So I thought that was pretty crazy. But yeah, it was worldwide news. It was all over. It was actually on Germany's biggest newspaper. I was the front face of it as the baby face killer. So yeah, I got a lot of notoriety from it, and it kind of gave me the platform that I have today. But I always say I'm thankful that it happened to me because I know I'm a strong person and can handle that. And I seriously don't let it affect me. I know that's kind of weird and people are like, how do you not let it affect you? But I always remind myself that people that say things about you without even knowing you says more about them than it does you. And so I just pray for them and hope that they can have a change of heart.
And what you saying just there, that is exactly how I take any sort of negative comments. And I mean, look, it's not, for me, it's nowhere near as far as what happened to you. But anytime any sort of like negativity, whether it's about podcasts, even before that, just being a conservative, being a black conservative and all that, and what comes with that, with liberals want to come out and whatever. And I tell people, because people ask me about it, like, how do you deal with being, some people want to call you names or all that. Just like you said, I don't really pay much attention. And I know for me.
Exactly. I always, because I have a bunch of girls message me all the time, and it just breaks my heart because I know a lot of, especially girls, can't handle it. But I just remind them that them talking about you and saying those ugly things says more about who they are as a person than who you actually are. If they don't want to take the time to get to know you, then that's on them.
Yeah, they want to. Someone wants to just make an instant judgment on you without, like I said, without even knowing you. I mean, why am I even taking your opinion seriously? Yeah, and I guess one last thing on this is just what I would tell people is just consider the source, especially with this. So
yeah, whenever they don't even have a profile picture and misspelled words or it's so funny. Like, sometimes I look at the people that send me those ugly messages and I'm just like, oh Lord, help your soul.
Another thing that I know we saw recently that you I know we spoke with Layla Perney in episodes, and we talked about her video on the 180 series, and you did a video as well, correct?
I did. I did my 180 series on hunting and conservation as to how hunting helps animals and it doesn't actually hurt them. And it talks about conservation and what actually goes into hunting, because I know there's a lot of misrepresentation as to non-hunters that don't really understand what hunting's all about. They just think they go out and shoot the first thing and we're just depleting the animal population, and that couldn't be further from the truth. Like, we go out and in my 180 series I explain what conservation is and how we help the animals and don't actually hurt them.
Okay. But for, I guess, a minute, people that don't know, 'cause I'm pretty sure there's probably people who probably see someone, going out and hunting, don't really consider what you're doing. I mean.
Yeah, so conservation is, I always like to say, sacrifice one to save many. And the money and that is from the tickets the tags and the hunting licenses and all of the money and permits that goes into that actually goes back into helping save the population, helping keeping those animals, animal research, anti-poaching teams. There's so much that goes into saving the animal, like from hunters. Hunters pay a lot of money to be able to go out and hunt one animal, but the money that one animal makes saves many, if that makes sense.
Okay,
You'll have to
yeah.
watch my 180 series.
Yeah, I will post that as well on our social media and along with the episode. But also, so in the documentary, you also mentioned about your ranch out in Texas, and one thing that you mentioned about it, that you had some ideas for it. Now, I don't know if you can divulge any of those ideas that you're looking to do with the ranch, but if so, what are they?
Yeah, so I have a lot of ideas out here. We've brainstormed quite a few. Nothing is in the works yet, but I've thought about making a wedding venue out here. Like, of course, I'm always going to keep the hunting aspect of it and everything like that, but I want to be able to do more with the land. I want to maybe make a wedding venue. We've talked about building some Airbnbs out here and doing different things like that, hosting events. That's one thing that I really wanted to get into. And of course, we have awesome fishing ponds out here. We have stocked ponds, and it's just so fun to go out on. So we're thinking of different ways on how to incorporate those to be able to share them with everyone else.
Okay, nice. Now, you're going to, I guess this will be a conference, something I actually haven't been to that I've been wanting to attend, but it's called SHOT Show. And
yeah.
You've been there multiple times, correct?
Yeah, I think this will be like my 5th or 6th time.
Okay, so for people that don't know about that, I guess, what is SHOT Show?
Basically, SHOT Show is the biggest gun convention of the year. And anyone that has anything to do with guns, whether it's from manufacturers to accessory parts to just anything related to guns, it might not necessarily be directly correlated with guns, but people that have an interest in guns might also have an interest in a lot of these products as well. So I couldn't even tell you how many companies are there. There is a lot. It's at a convention center. They have a top floor. They have a bottom floor. They have all these side rooms, ballrooms for interviews and media outlets and news and like little breakout sessions. There's so many things going on at SHOT Show. You can't even make it through all of it in the week that you're there.
Wow.
You have to pick and choose what you want to go to.
Wow. And is it in Las Vegas, or is it always in Las Vegas or somewhere else?
Yes, it's in Las Vegas, but it's not open to the public. It's the kicker.
Yeah, that's what I found out, yeah.
Yeah, you have to be working with a company or a retailer that is able to go to it. So not just anyone can show up and be there.
Yeah, I was thinking about trying to go there as media, but, like I said, I just never could get it around. So maybe one day I will go. But what are you going to be on?
You definitely have to. I will be meeting with a couple different of my partners. I'm going to be meeting and looking at different products, going and meeting new people. I can't wait to see the new guns they have coming out for 2020. So that's kind of what I'll be doing. This is a place where where a lot of companies debut their new products for 2020.
It sounds like a good time. I'm like I said, one day I'm definitely looking forward to go. But I really appreciate you coming on, and I would encourage everyone to check out your documentary on YouTube. Now, is it just on YouTube, or is it other places they can go?
Yes, it's on YouTube and Amazon Prime, but of course YouTube is free, so you can check it out. Go to youtube.com/Kendall Jones, and it will be there on my page. And then you can follow me on social media. On Instagram, it's _Kendall Jones _, and on Facebook, it's official Kendall Jones.
All right. See, you did exactly what I was about to ask. I was about to ask about social media, bro. So I appreciate you coming on, and we hope to talk again with you soon.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
This is Sarah Gonzalez, and you are listening to Trend Chat.
And thanks to Kendall for joining us, and just talking about SHOT Show, just something. It's another one of those events that I haven't been to, but something I've known for a while, a couple of years now. You have to be in the industry for one, but so. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I will connect with someone and be able to attend in the next couple of years or so. But I'm not going to say I know, because we don't want to jump too far. We don't want to assume that we're going to be approved. So, but we have applied, let's just put it that way, to go to CPAC in February. In February, February 26th, but yeah, through March 1st. But yeah, so we're not going to just assume, even though we've been there the past 4 years and been approved every time, but still, you never know. We're just waiting for their approval from CPAC if we're going to go as media, and we'll just wait for that. So, but we plan on it. We're pretty sure we're going to get approved. Don't know why we wouldn't be. But that being said, just be on the safe side. But hope to see everyone there. And look, if you listen to the show and you see me, which happens every now and then, which is something when it happens, especially if I don't, I don't know everyone who is listening. But I just assume everyone that is listening knows me. That's just how I think, because I'm like, okay, just friends are listening to this. But that's not the case. I know that for a fact, because sometimes I go to events and look, I'm not like I'm having an autograph session. I'm not being chased around by throngs of fans, and it's not like that. But even just like when one person would tap on my shoulder or something, or just... or the other situation that would happen, someone looking dead at my face and looking at me, and I'm looking at them, and I'm like, what? Well, why are you staring at me? And as they get closer, then they tell me they listen to the show. I'm like, thank you. And let me just say this too, to the people who are listening. If I come across awkward, trust and believe. Please trust and believe. I am not being standoffish. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I honestly don't know how to handle it. I know I'm just awkward because I am surprised that you are coming up to me. I really am. So that's how I'm processing in my mind. I mean, okay, over time, maybe I would get used to it, but I'm just telling you right now, if I'm come off a little awkward, just please understand. I'm just kind of shocked people, even, especially people that I don't know, or just like, hey, I listen to the show. I love it. I want, or go so far and ask me to sign something. Oh my goodness. But so I'm just like, my mind is blown. Just understand that. just letting you know, especially if you don't know me and the first time you're meeting me or even hearing my voice is through this and you see me, please come up to me. But I'm awkward anyways. But this right here and having someone actually saying hello and I like you, I like your work or whatever like that. I'm overly appreciative about it, and to the point to where it's almost like I'm like my mind is blown. So I'm just letting you know that now to the people, and I'm saying all that, but it's also very exciting and it's very humbling too. When that happens. So I'm just putting it out there. And I'm rambling. We're at the end. again, thanks to Kendall Jones for coming on. And we're going to get back to our candidate series next week, as well as hopefully, I really hope we get this interview next week as well. So we may have 2 episodes, maybe not. But there's a movie on Clarence Thomas, Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. There's a documentary out, and we hope to talk with someone connected to that movie soon. And so I'm really hoping we'll get that. But if not, we'll be especially back with the candidate series as well. So thank you. Appreciate everyone listening. Like, share, subscribe. And until next time, we'll chat with you later.